Welcome back, everyone, to another fabulous episode of Thanks for Your Concern. You're here with Ella.
And I'm Bernice.
What is
Hello.
up?
I am a very tan right now, and I'm kind of living for it because the second it gets tan, for some reason, I don't like what I look like with makeup on anymore. So I just like free face, like mascara, blush, we're going outside.
I love it. I'm getting tan too. I got a little burnt, actually, because got some like unexpected sun. But I am excited. I'm going to Austin in Mexico this tomorrow, literally. So I'm gonna be getting some
Hell yeah.
sun. Hell yeah! I'm excited. I'm super pumped.
That's gonna be so good.
What is up with you?
What's up with me? Honestly, like same old, just trying to get my shit together. I have elements coming up and I wasn't gonna go, but now I don't know, like I kind of want to. There's like some opportunities to like get with like the flow community and like flow on stage, which honestly, it's kind of like one of those things where I'm a performer at heart, okay? But I've never like, and I've had opportunities sometimes at shows, people like invite me to go on stages, but I've never fully gone like into something being like, I'm flowing here, like I'm showcasing this specific thing. And I just feel like that would be great for my development.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I think you're ready. I feel like every time I see you flow, I'm like, oh my god, this bitch is so like beautiful. We love I mean, how long ago did you start flowing? Like
Almost 2 years ago.
that's crazy.
Yeah. No, it's definitely it goes by life goes by fast.
You're telling
But
me.
yeah, I was thinking about that and I do see kind of like my progression videos and I'm like, oh, she was so cute. She didn't even know she could do all this shit with this item.
I love that. So
I
that's
know.
dope. I'm excited for that then, but that just adds one more thing to your already busy schedule. Are you
We'll see.
going
Yeah.
to like is it a situation where you're going to like coordinate with other people or is it more like get up
Well,
on
I have a lot of
stage, but you know you're going to get up
well,
on
no,
stage?
this one's coordinated. You like
Yeah.
choose a time slot, they assign you to a stage. And I have some friends that like are setting it up. But we'll see. I have to like get a ticket and like figure out. I have a lot of friends that are going, but I just like I told myself I would spend less money on music festivals and more money on like other things. So, it's a big maybe. It's a big maybe. Right now I'm trying to focus, but
Oh
like
yeah, girl.
at the same time, like I'm allowed to have fun. I'm allowed to. There's a lot of things coming up. Well, okay, so like a lot of people are getting married, and like God bless you. I'm
Correct.
so thankful to be invited to these things, but they're all away. So it's like you have to figure out where you're gonna stay and all these like flight situations. Which again, like so grateful. Can't wait to celebrate your love. But also, like I'm stressed. Why you all gotta get married the same year?
True that. True that. It's weird. We're getting to that
Uh
age.
huh. Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Yeah. So whatever, we're gonna navigate it, but are you excited for Mexico? What are you most excited about?
Well, I'm gonna go to the Frida Kahlo Museum, the Diego Rivera Museum, the Anthropology Museum. I'm going everywhere, babes. The Pyramid of the Sun. I'm most excited to not be in America. That should be really cool. I'm going for my 30th birthday, and like,
Mhm.
you know what Oprah says: how you spend your 30th birthday is how you're gonna spend that year. And
Yeah.
I'm in my like I'm in my abundance era, okay, babes. So I have
Yeah.
some exciting news. Well, some exciting news. Yeah, it is exciting news. So I won an award at work, right? And I don't usually talk about
Uh-huh.
work because I don't know. Sometimes it doesn't seem like my vibe. It seems too pedestrian. But yeah, I mean, I'm being so honest, but the CEO said like some very nice things about me that I like knew are true, but I think it's so weird having it come from someone who only knows you in this one setting, you know? So like to have
Yeah.
someone independently say like this person can teach themselves anything is like, "Oh my god, I can teach myself anything." That's so crazy that you say that. That is true about me. Baby, it came with $1,000 to Amazon. First thing
Oh.
I know.
Okay.
It's so
Okay. What?
it's so you don't have to pay taxes on it. Anyways, first thing I did, buy a DJ controller, and I've been having so much fucking fun on
Oh
that
yeah.
thing. Yep, and so now I
Okay.
have this new source of building community because I can't just learn by myself. I have to learn from others. So yeah, and I just was like, oh, what should I spend this $1,000 on? It doesn't matter because I'm gonna get 1,000 more and 1,000 more and 1,000 more. I'm in my abundance era, okay? I go to sleep listening
Period.
to abundance meditation. I wake up and listen to abundance meditation. My decades of 30 is going to be about abundance. So we're going to Mexico City. We're going to ball out and have a good time and not worry about it.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to hear about it. I'm excited for you. I'm happy that you got the recognition that you deserve. Having worked with Ella, I can honestly say she worked a lot harder than I ever did. And and I'm glad that you're getting recognized for that.
Yeah, we love it. You guys, we have such a fun hee hee ha ha episode though, so I am so ready to get into it. We are doing PR disasters, babe. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's get it.
Well, thanks for your concern.
PR disasters. There's a lot of them.
Mm-hmm. There's been many recently.
Yeah.
Like we got a lot of the dramas, but you can also be your own PR disaster.
I am gonna spill some of my least favorite PR nightmares. So that should be fun. So stick around for that.
With PR nightmares, I honestly love a shit show. I love it when people just decide to be unhinged in public. But sometimes people respond to it well, and sometimes people just their apology or follow through is just more unhinged than their original actions.
People don't know how to apologize. I think me and Berenice have been good at apologies for years, and it shocks me that people don't know how to apologize.
It's interesting because I just met up with one of my friends, and she said that one of the things like their parent was working on was apologizing without really stating like the intention behind it. Like regardless of the intention, there just still should be an apology. And I think in a lot of times we want to voice our intention behind it, but the intention is really irrelevant, right? So I was like, wow, I never even thought about that maybe I don't have to say like, hey, it wasn't my intention. But yeah, that's like implied in part of the apology. Like regardless of your intention, you may still have like made somebody feel a certain way. And that's just part of like being like, okay, I'm accountable for the pain that I may have caused you. And I'm sorry for that.
Where people go wrong with PR apology. Why don't we go into the PR nightmares? Okay. So the
Before
PR
we get
nightmares, and then we'll break down why their apologies or lack thereof apologies are disasters. So everyone should be up to date with this Clinton, Kane, Brooke Schofield drama, right?
Yeah, by the time this episode comes out, there may be more that we don't know about.
Holy shit, I know. Well, high level rundown. We have Brooke and Clinton. They date for he says 3 months, she says 6. I'm pretty sure it is in the middle or closer to 6.
More background in case you're not with it. Clinton Kane, a singer, okay, a man, and Brooke, an influencer. She's beautiful, and
Gorgeous.
she also has a podcast called Canceled
with Tana Mojo.
Yeah, with Tana Mojo. Okay, yeah, background.
Anyways, Clinton Kane said that his mother, his father, and his brother died. Sounds like dad did die and a mother figure died, and there was a lot of crazy things happening before them. This whole situation, I'm not gonna lie, I was triggered by the situation because men all lie the same fucking way, okay? And obviously I've never been in a relationship with a woman, so I'll just say that liars lie. There's just a type of liar that it's like, this is like the lying textbook, okay? Where it's like you deflect any way that you can, regardless if it makes any sense. and you just, instead of taking accountability, say, actually, the person who is trying to make me accountable for my actions, they're worse than I am.
Gaslight. So
Gaslight.
it goes into manipulation.
Super.
They will say anything before an apology. Yeah, I think that this is mainly people are lying to themselves. I will say with this situation, it did ring a lot of bells because I know a lot of people that are like that. PR nightmares. The thing is, we live in the age of social media where you can like find any information online, right? So maybe your actions need to align with your words because somewhere out there is proof you're lying. And it is accessible because even if you're not posting about it, your family member, your cousin, your childhood best friend, somebody knows something and it's out there.
And the world is always connected because, like, okay, so for instance, like, I think back, like, in my grandma's time, like, you could have a double family pretty fucking easily because you just needed to, like, move the one town over, right? But now it would be so difficult to have a double family because of these, like, your wife could look at your bank statements and see where you're spending your money. She posts a photo of you on social media and then someone else sees it and is like, that's my man. It's just a lot harder to be shady.
It is. And I was I was seeing somebody with like a very noticeable hand tattoo. And the only thing I ever told him was like, you don't even need to like really try to do anything or have anybody like, or I don't have to try to keep up with what you're doing. Your hand tattoo is so noticeable. And if I post it and say like this is my man and someone sees it out there, I have friends everywhere. They will let me know that they saw you doing things you shouldn't be doing. And I was like, isn't that crazy? And he was like all about being private. So I was like, that's so silly that you would get the most noticeable, distinct hand tattoo if you wanted to be private, bro. He was like, yeah, I didn't really think about that.
They never think about that.
They never think about that.
That is literally people's favorite catchphrase is, I never thought about that. And
yeah, so like if you don't know how to be sneaky, maybe don't be sneaky because that's definitely like a PR nightmare waiting to happen. I will say I have personally seen a lot of people in the background videos of like my friends on social media caught lies this way. So it's really not uncommon to do that. Now, I would say the best way to solve a PR nightmare is to act a way that you're proud of. So at least you can say,
or you have to, you can hit a rebrand. Me and Bertie's are all down for a rebrand. Sometimes you have to take accountability and be like, I'm a totally different person.
I'm reformed.
I am
a reformed liar. I think that there is a lot of value in owning your things. Like, I think as human beings, we all do silly things, okay? Maybe not always act to the best of our abilities, but not being able to own up to it for me is so dumb. It's just like, oh my God, just say you made a mistake and like, let's move on. Like if people like own up to things, you are more likely to get forgiven and being understood because everybody else is a human being that makes mistakes than if you are to lie about it. So many people like get so caught up in like, I don't want them to have them look at me different, like different how, like a human being that maybe like messed up. So taking accountability, your own accountability, seems like a wild concept, but may actually be the solution.
Literally, in this whole situation, Homeboy made 27 parts. He took accountability, number 25. And I was like, if he had started there, I think he would be in a totally... People would have vibed with it completely different than you making 24 parts trying to discredit this girl who... it's really... And then the evidence that you tried to provide was such bunk, fucking whack-ass evidence. It's like, dude, you are just like there's a point where it's like, you know what, I have to take full accountability for my actions, because there's no way that I'm not digging myself deeper into this. Like there's just at a point where you cannot come back, where it's just like, I have to apologize, this is it. Like that's the only option, is to apologize or make it worse.
Yeah, and he starts off his apology videos with like, my team advised me. What team? What team? Are any of them women? Because in what right mind would a woman be like, go on the internet and try to gaslight everybody? Go on the internet and show everybody exactly how manipulative you are. People do be telling on themselves, and I don't know if people do it on purpose, like they don't recognize that they're trying to be manipulative. But anytime that you act without like truth or like a good intention or just like with clarity, people can tell. Like it might take them a little bit to follow up. I've seen a lot of people's responses to it, of like women being like, I totally got sold, like through this story, that he wasn't like a bad person, or like he didn't intend to come off a certain way. And I'm like, oh, that's how easily someone is able to manipulate you. You really need to read people's intentions with what they're coming to. And I think a lot of it, people use like the love that you have for them to get something like out of you. You know, that's literally like how emotional manipulation works. It's like if you're friends with somebody and they did something shitty and they tell you, well, I was going through a really rough time, I had A, B, and C going on. It's like getting your sympathy to excuse the fact that they did that without any follow through. That is emotional manipulation.
My post kind of popped off because Brooke reposted it, which, you know, love that. Yay. But this girl kind of came for me and she was like, why do you care? And I was like, well, because this person's trying to emotionally manipulate the internet into getting onto his side and basically throwing this girl under the bus and saying whatever the fuck he wants. And like, I'm not down for that. And it kind of takes me to like this other PR thing that's going on right now. Have you seen the Michaela mascara gate too?
No.
Do you know who Michaela is? She's a beauty influencer.
Yes.
And do you know Mascara Gate 1? For anyone that doesn't
Yes.
know, it was a beauty influencer basically was like, wow, look at this mascara. But she literally has like falsies like hanging off of like, me and Berenice know about that inner corner lift, babes.
We cannot put on fake eyelashes to save our lives.
We would put on fake eyelashes legit like every going out night, and I would literally have like globs in that corner trying to not make it lift, bro. Anyway, so she has a mascara ad where she's like, look at how long these made my mascaras, and she has that little corner lifting. Well, she basically didn't address it, kind of was like, whatever. People got really pissed about it because she didn't take accountability. Well, now she's in Mascara Gate too, because I honestly don't know if she's like, I'm like, is she doing this shit on purpose? She uses a mascara. She's like, oh wow, look at this great wand. Look at this great wand. She cuts to her having the mascara on. It's a different fucking mascara wand than the one she's advertising. And then it cuts back to the mascara she's advertising.
Whoops.
And I was like, dude, see, this is why you cannot believe influencers or anything on the internet. And these are why PR nightmares happen, is because people just be chasing the bag. And so you have to be careful of bag chasers. Respect for the bag chasing, no hate on you, but as consumers, we have to be conscientious.
Yeah, I think if you buy into a lot of things on social media, you should probably be cautious about this one. Personally, I don't take anything they sell on social media too serious. Like, unless it's personally recommended by a friend, I don't really subscribe to it at all. Like, I just don't believe any ads. But I think it is funny. She's funny. I mean, there is a way to handle a PR nightmare, is by saying nothing. And sometimes silence is where you should land. I think Mr. Clinton Kane should have probably just remained silent. That probably would have been the best decision for him. Sometimes I will say, like, you just have to let people be in peace, right? And the fact that, like, he just couldn't let this girl be in peace is so baffling to me after hurting somebody. Because that's, at the end of the day, like, that's what it is, right? Like, I think a lot of people can relate to, like, her video because you're in like personally I've been in a situation like that where like somebody hurt me and basically tried to tell me on social media to shut the fuck up because they were over me talking about it. And honestly, I think what they did to me didn't hurt as much as the follow-up of like somebody trying to like make fun of me on the internet to get me to shut up. And so the fact that she went out there and did this fat series was like, chef's kiss, yes, get it. And the fact that then he went for her to try to make her not credible, sir, that just shows how sick that man is, and we hope he gets the help he needs.
And honestly,
that's the same thing I told the man I was seeing. I was like, I hope.
There are sometimes when PR nightmares happen and people are like, oh, I don't think it's that bad. It's like, okay, well, maybe you should like seek help because like the internet's tearing apart this other person and saying like, no, this is bad. This is immoral. This is not how we should function as members of a society. And the fact that you're just like co-signing, like, I don't think it's that bad. I think it's more of a reflection on you than it not being bad.
I agree. I think it lacks a lot of self-awareness. And this comes from somebody like with my own issues of self-awareness in college, okay? I've had so many of my own PR nightmares in college that, you know, I don't think I could run for office because I'm sure there's stuff out there in the internet that just hasn't seen the light of day in a minute. But in college, I was also not self-aware and thought like everything I did was whatever when everybody has like an internet footprint. And something that I've learned as I've gotten older is that you should really take care of like your reputation, not from a place of like getting things, obviously like come from a genuine place because you want to be good with people. But now anyone can pretty much say anything about you and prove it, right? So it's like, sometimes I think about like, oof, I didn't leave that situation in the best of terms. That girl could 100% come for me if she wanted to, and I can't have anything to say about it because I totally did that. You know?
I mean, bro, talk about PR nightmares. I think like we have hee ha ha about how we couldn't run for office. I'm being dead serious. It's like a genuine fear of mine that something that I don't even remember doing because I was a maniac in college is going to come to light. Like, I'm like, oh my God, this podcast, when the podcast blows up, I'm going to have a PR nightmare of something that happened 10 years ago. And thankfully, I've actually changed. So I feel like at least like there's that part where I could be like, I was crazy back then and now I'm different. I'm emotionally stable and sober. But one of the PR nightmares that I tried to save at the moment was, you guys are going to think this one's funny. So I called this guy legitimately 35 times in an evening. And when I woke up to see that I had called him 35 times, I sent him a text message that was like, hey, I've been thinking about it and I think we should just be friends. Because I thought that would save me from a PR disaster, because then he would be like, because then he couldn't really tell the story without being like, oh, she actually said she just wants to be friends, you know? She can't, because he can't say, oh yeah, she called me like 52 times last night and then, you know, I had to cut it off with her. I was like, I'll cut it off so then that way, like, I could tell people I cut it off.
Oh my God, that's funny. That's fun. Well, you saved it. I'm sure that saved it.
Yep, definitely.
Mine was just like such stupid stuff on social media. I would post the most unhinged things on
baby.
I still do, honestly. You can't be stopped.
Dude, when Verity was active on Twitter, she was a problem.
I honestly can't even remember my Twitter password or email. So like right now, I've been like, I hope no one finds that. Like I hope that's like been burned. I hope like Twitter gets canceled because I'm sure things are still on there, but I don't even know what it is. Like I can't even access my Twitter account. I was like notorious for tweeting while drunk, okay? Now, I don't know why I love to do this more than anything in the world, but I would just come for anything or anybody, anybody's mom, anybody's throat, and it would also be like illegible. Like I'm a typo little queen, so sometimes I'd be like, what? It was like trying to say like, yeah, I needed to clean up my act for sure. And like when we were in a sorority, so I would get like fines. And the thing is, I had the audacity to try to contest them. Okay.
Oh my god, I'm literally crying.
Like, I had someone being like, hey girl, like maybe future employers will see this like picture of you being surrounded by like super drunk people. And I'm like, no, like nobody was drunk. Everybody was super sober.
I remember this specific one. So basically, when you go to contest a fine, you would have to come in front of like the fucking sorority board or whatever and say, this is why it shouldn't be contested. One of the images is me just like I'm looking so far gone, so wild. I'm like head banging. So in the videos, the photos like me in motion with like a fucking bass face, and then this like two other people also, and she was like, "This is my culture."
Yeah, I was like, how dare you? Like, this is about EDM. Like, we weren't even drinking. Like, you're so delusional. Like, I was out there gaslighting. We've all been victims, okay?
Yeah.
Of this phenomenon. Yeah, so I would say like probably clean up your internet pepper waves, if it's still out there, or maybe while you're at it. I think that there is some unhinged behavior that I salute because it just shows like people are real. Yeah, there's some things that probably were uncalled for, and maybe when somebody's calling you out, you want to reflect rather than gaslight. I'm the problem.
I will say, when you start listening to those whispers of you might be the problem, you end up in a better place if you can solve if the mountain. There's this book called The Mountain Is You, and it's basically like the biggest problem you're gonna face in your life is you.
You.
Like, we don't have these like enemies who are gonna like they have in books, like in a Disney, it's like they're fighting a villain. The villain is just like your internal monologue, it's you. And so I will say, like, a lot of, I don't have, knock on wood, I don't have PR disasters anymore because I stopped being a problem, bro.
Yeah, I start taking also accountability for my actions, being like, you know what? Yeah, maybe that was a little shitty.
Yeah, apologize. You can apologize quicker too. People accept it more. I think like that's the other thing with these PR disasters, where it's like you can come back from it if you actually show going forward that you're a better person. Like, for instance, like Trisha Paytas has had so many PR disasters, but I think people are like on her side because she's shown growth. So I think that growth goes a long way with people trying to do better. It's like when you actively continue to be in these PR disasters because there's no growth is when people really start turning on you.
I agree, and I think someone who comes to mind is that man. His name is like Harry something, and he's like in a bunch of like Netflix reality shows, and he's just done like hella girls dirty.
Oh yeah.
And there just comes a point where he's like, "Yeah, I'm not a great guy," and then he's like, "But I have a new girlfriend."
Yeah, it's because
no growth.
He's hot. Okay, so I saw him in real life, and I'm gonna say this: he's very good looking, and he's really fucking tall. And so I 100% see, because sometimes you can out hot a PR disaster, baby. But
he's that girl. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God. No,
pray for her.
I agree. Pray for her. I mean, at least he owns it. You know, he doesn't go on social media and he's like, no, I'm a great guy. He's like, no, I'm 100% a piece of shit. I don't know if people trust me.
I think I mean, me and you have said this, but Julia Fox said it the other day too, where it's just like, honestly, I kind of vibe with assholes because at least they're being honest versus like, I'm a nice guy. I'm a guy's girl or a girl's guy, and then it's like you're actually a terrible, terrible liar and manipulator. Like, that's almost worse.
Well, a lot of people that just comes from their own issues where they like goes back to the people pleasing. They like think they're doing you a solid by acting shitty for some reason, and then they're like, no, it's because like I'm trying to be nice and I don't want to be painted out as like somebody I'm not. I'm like, you lack so much depth and self-awareness that like I just can't even. But when someone's straight up like, I'm low-key a piece of shit, I'm like, okay, at least you're self-aware that like maybe your actions at this moment in time are not the best version of yourself. Got it.
Shout
And
out
at
to
that
the
point,
piece of
you're
shits.
shout out to the piece of shits that know they're piece of shits. At least they know. They're letting you know. And at that point, it is really up to you to play yourself, okay? And then have your own PR nightmare. Because when someone is showing you who they are, it is 100% your decision whether you want to stay in that situation or not. And based on how you act out of that one, that's also kind of reflects on you. You can have a bad PR nightmare from somebody else. I've seen so many, unfortunately, like this is how like girls get called crazy. Okay. It's never really like a girl goes into a situation and she's like fully like acting irrational. Like there are instances that drive a reaction. This is a reaction to behavior usually. So the reaction to the behavior is usually caused by something else. But like once you stay in that situation and you're inherently acting like that repeatedly, you've just become your own PR nightmare, baby. Yeah.
Honestly, there's sometimes where I'm like, man, this guy's not great. Like this friend or this boyfriend or this partner is not great for your image, and they're like a PR disaster waiting to happen. Like, like that's my man that was sticking by him. It's like, are you sure?
Are you sure?
Like you want that for your image? Like you're okay with him openly cheating on you? Like you're okay with that for your image? I'm not. Sorry.
Yeah, and I don't even know if it's like image about like how other people are perceiving me. I think it's like how I'm perceiving myself, right? Like I can't be out here telling other people to, not work things out with other people or to let people go and then not act that way. Which I think that for me is like the biggest thing. Like when your actions don't align with your words, PR nightmare. PR nightmare.
I agree.
But you can spin anything,
I always love to spin it was a mutual breakup, but I always like to spin yeah, he broke up with me, but I was thinking about breaking up with him. I used to do that a lot. And I actually was being semi-truthful, but at the time I was too attached to bad people, so that was never actually true. The anxious attachment wouldn't let me, but we love to spin it.
We love to spin it. I will say that one current PR nightmare that has like a funny saying is Justin Timberlake's arrest. That when he got arrested, allegedly, he said like, "Oh, this won't be good for the world tour." And I'm taking that one and running with it because that's so funny. Anytime something bad goes out, I'm gonna be like, this is not gonna be good for the world tour, baby. As maybe just don't do things that won't be good for the world tour later in your life.
Think about
it. Really baffles me how people sometimes be doing things that they don't think are going to have like any consequences. That's gutsy.
I feel like that's like a big change when you get a little older, is that like I used to just really risk it for the biscuit because it's just like, what was I going to lose, Like I was poor. I didn't have any prospects. And like now it's like, okay, no. I'm going to conduct myself in a way that I'm proud of so that I'm not like risking my lifestyle for some dumb stuff.
Yeah. And maybe that is the biggest tell-all that you need to get away from someone when they like act like there are no consequences, when they're just like ruthless with some of their actions. If that doesn't align with you, then they might not be seeing the bigger picture. They might not be seeing what you're seeing. Unaligned. Let him go.
All right, baby. I think that's it. There's so many PR nightmares. If you have like a favorite PR nightmare, like hit the gram inbox. Make sure that you're subscribed to us. You rate and review and share with a friend. You can find us at thanks the number for your concern. And I'm at Ella L. Tudor.
And I'm at Bernice Diaz M.
We love you. We'll see you next week. Bye.